Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie released on the 4th of May 2023 in New Zealand. It is directed by James Gunn and music direction by John Murphy. Copyright by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures and production credit by Kevin Feige.
For this movie, Chris Pratt, also as Peter Quill,
Zoe Saldana, also as Gamera,
Will Poulter, also as Adam Warlock,
Karen Gillan, also as Nebula,
Dave Bautista, also as Drax,
Pom Clementia, also as Amantis.
Chukwudi Awuji. High Evolution also contributes by acting.
Now let's see the synopsis of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie.
As a child raccoon, Rocket is a guinea pig for the high developmental to make a counter-Earth populated by human creatures. He becomes companions with Lila, Teeth, and Floor, three of the great Transformative's other guinea pigs. Rocket shows knowledge and fitness past different creatures and concludes the defect in the anthropomorphization cycle, enraging the high Transformative. They later discover that they won't be essential for the new Earth after the high developmental consummates the equation to humanize. At the point when the high developmental suspects a break endeavor, he kills Lila, Teeth and Floor, irritating Rocket, who hammers him and departures. Years after the fact, the gatekeepers of the system have laid out the base camp on a remade Nowhere. The night in the wake of getting comfortable, they are gone after by Adam Warlock, a super-controlled being made out of retribution by his mom, the ruler of the Sovereign, Aisha, for beforehand taking from her kin. They are requested to carry Rocket to the High Transformative, who has become fixated on recovering his subject to segregate and recreating Rocket's insight. During the battle, Rocket is truly harmed, leaving the Watchman unfit to keep an eye on his injuries due to a kill switch implanted in him. The group resolved to go to the Orgoscope, base camp of the Great Developmentals Organization Orgocorp, with expectations of finding and abrogate code. With the help of the Ravagers and a hesitant 2014 Gamera, the Gatekeepers penetrate Orgosphere and recover Rocket's record. Be that as it may, they are gone after by Orgosphere's gatekeepers, scarcely getting away from after Peter Plume remotely initiates the Watchman's suit fly packs. They reason that Thiel, one of the great Transformative's researchers, may have the abrogate code put away in his memory, and choose to find him. The group visits Counter-Earth against Gamera's recommendation, trailed by Aisha and Adam. With assistance from a group of bat-like humanoids, Plume, Cloud and Groot follow Thiel to the High Developmental's boat, while Drax and Mantis stay with Gamera and Rocket. Plume and Groot load up the High Developmental's boat, abandoning Cloud. Mantis reluctantly goes with Drax to the High Developmental's boat, which starts to send off with Plume and Groot caught ready, an interaction that likewise obliterates Counter-Earth. Gamera stays with Rocket, yet is gone after by a pig champion sent by the High Transformative, what herself's identity is, killed when Warlock shows up searching for Rocket. Gamera overwhelms Adam and dispatches the Watchman's boat. Plume and Groot effectively rout the High Transformative's powers and kill Thiel, leaping off with him and recovering his memory before Gamera meets them. In the meantime, accepting Plume and Groot are still ready, Cloud, Mantis, and Drax load up the High Transformative's boat to safeguard them, and a debilitated Adam detects that his mom is in harm's way, however is past the point where it is possible to save her. On the Watchman's boat, Rocket level lines and has a brush with death, where he is met by Lila, Teeth and Floor, who let him know that his time has not yet proceeded. Plume effectively carries out the supersede code and restores him. Mantis, Cloud and Drax go over swarms of detained youngsters on the High Developmental's boat prior to being caught themselves, and set in a chamber with obelisks. Mantis can convince the obelisks to favor them, and the three break the chamber prior to rejoining with the gatekeepers and overwhelming the High Transformative's military. Kraglin and Cosmo show up in nowhere, which Cosmo associates with the High Developmental's boat with the assistance of Cloud and Kraglin, through her powers of supernatural power permitting them to free the caught youngsters. Rocket finds a litter of child raccoons and other guinea pig creatures, however is gone after by an unhinged High Transformative while endeavoring to free them prior to being saved by the Watchman. The High Transformative is left to die on his boat while the creatures are safeguarded and board nowhere alongside a large portion of the Watchman. After Cosmo can't keep the boats intact for a considerable length of time for him to load up, Plume scarcely evades, starting to freeze in space prior to being saved by Adam. The Watchmen choose to disband. Plume gives the position of skipper of the Watchmen upon Rocket prior to leaving for Earth. Mantis leaves on an excursion of self-revelation with the obelisks. Gamera reunites with the Ravagers. Cloud and Drax stay on nowhere to bring up the safeguarded kids. In a mid-credits scene, Commander Rocket is seen driving the new gatekeepers of the system, made out of a completely developed Groot, Adam, Cosmo, Phyla Bell, Kraglin and Blurp as they set up another mission. In a post-credits scene, Plume reconnects with his granddad.